Yes, we've been joined by esteemed and a famous poet, David Leo Sirois.
Thank
He's a
you.
DJ, film, TV, and theater actor, songwriter, singer, and whatnot. And he's been a publishing poet. To say he's been his poems have been translated in 25 languages. To say. And I'm going to ask David about his first book, Humbledoves. How
Yes.
does it, born, and how does it, came forth, and how does it, birthed? And it's like the idea came up, and when did it happen, David?
Thanks. Well, when I lived in Paris, uh, of course, there were pigeons everywhere, and I saw one that was completely white, and it stood out from all the other pigeons. It was really beautiful. So I wrote a little poem to celebrate it. I called it Queen of Beggars. Uh, And then another day I saw children chasing pigeons in a park. So I wrote, the most famous one called Humbledoves. Uh, I saw children chasing pigeons at a playground in Montmartre. As I walked by, I smiled and disapproved. They didn't notice me or my hair in disrepair, but I stared in mute contemplation of their scary, fearless, unrelenting effort to scare these multicolored humble doves who come from everywhere.
So how many years passed of, in your, for your first book, if I may ask? When
How
did it,
many what?
how many years? I mean, it's like, when did it get published? I mean,
Oh, this was published at the end of 2020,
okay.
and it's only, it's independently, and I said in a video that I was embarrassingly self-publishing it, but I wanted to get my word out there while I had like, I have five completed manuscripts at least that I send around to different contests and they don't win. So while I keep waiting for one serious book after another to win a contest, I thought I would self-publish my funny book, knowing that these poems were famous in Paris, and when my friends see a pigeon, they think of me, and so I thought it was good to start off with just getting a funny book out there and getting my book career started, even if I've been published, in 25 countries and in 12 languages. Those are all like, individual magazine and anthology publications. I've been lucky, 144 times that's happened, but you know, only one book and I had to put it out myself. So anyway, that's how it happened. And I wrote it in Paris from 2013 to 2017, and then I revised it after coming home to Maine, uh, making it complete and in good quality to make my nieces laugh. They were really young at the time, and so it finally in 2020 it came out.
But let me ask you, how does you come into writing? I mean, it's like, where did you get started? I mean, it's like, is it from your, childhood or from youth,
Yeah,
or you just, it's like,
yes, indeed. Yeah, when I was 10 years old and I was in a fifth grade English class in Maine. I had a teacher who introduced the class to Edgar Allan Poe, his poems and his stories, and that my mind caught fire with the beauty of those words and the power of them. And she would give us little poetry writing exercises, like write a poem about what you see in this postcard. Uh, and once she gave me a writing exercise, well, to the whole class, and instead of writing one poem, I wrote eight.
mm,
So I got really excited, and that was when I was 10, and I never stopped writing. And when I was in high school, by the time at the end of high school, I wasn't doing a lot of my homework. I was just writing books of poetry. because I was no longer interested in, physics or advanced math or what have you. I was just at home writing book after book of poetry. So I started when I was 10 years old and
So
never
it is,
stopped.
so it is something like from your childhood. So tell me about your winning, what do you call it, spree, winning spree, or what do you call it? You won a third prize in uh,
Ah,
Flomp
yes,
humor poetry. So could
yes.
you,
Uh, yeah, I have a thing where, I mean, most of my poems are serious and, mystical or existential in nature. But I have a funny side too, and aside from the poems to pigeons, I write a lot of ridiculous poems and even poems for children. And I wrote a poem in the voice of Walt Whitman called "I Hear the Bank of America Singing." And I submitted it to this Wergle Flomp humor poetry contest and got third prize. And I was happy because there were only two prizes and then the honorable mentions, but they invented third prize for me
oh
because
my
they thought I was even better than all the other honorable mentions. So anyway, it was nice. I won $150. It was my first prize winner. So yes, that felt really great. And so
God,
if you go to
that
the
was something so humbling, accepting the, But yes, congratulations on that.
thank you. Yeah, I was very happy about it. And so, if you look up winningwriters.com or Wergle Flomp 2020, whatever, my poem comes up in the third place. And there's a video of me reciting it at SpokenWord Paris, which is the best part.
So tell me about this. You often been featured in Bombay Review. That's what you always say, and also in on Madras Courier. So tell me something about those, publications or journals or whatever it is.
Well, I feel very fortunate to have been accepted by the Bombay Review. And so I always put that forth as like, this is where people should start if they want to read my stuff. There's a bunch of words heard in dreams and, a poem that's a meditation on meditation. So I thought those were good to share. But I was very touched. And I only found out later that they're South Asia's biggest literary magazine and that they have a readership in over 90 countries. Uh, so it's really huge. And then now they've befriended me and they've uh, asked me for donations before to help them survive. They're completely volunteer run, and so I've donated a couple of times, and so I support the magazine now, and I hope that they will open for publication again soon. They've got an LGBTQ publication coming out. I don't know if they're waiting for if I don't know if they're still open for submissions, but that's not for me. So anyway, I hope they open up for general submissions again. But yeah, I have a guru from India that I've studied under for 28 years now, Guru Maharaj Chidvilasananda. And so I've connected very strongly with the Indian people as readers and listeners. And when I was on a show called The Granthi, which is created at first by Bengali poets, and then it became a British show, and it became international, not just Bengali uh, writers. Uh, that was kind of my introduction to reading for thousands of people in India and beyond in the you know, Bengali speaking audience. And so I kept trying to send work out to publications in India since all my work is based on Indian philosophy. It seemed to be a good place. And so I've gotten rejected by the Bangalore Review and the Bombay Literary Magazine and Advaitam Speaks Literary. Um, but I keep trying, and I've thanks to you, I've been published in a couple of anthologies in India that the Fertile Brains put out, and I was very proud of that. And also, Indian Periodical published translations of me with the English as well. So I have a poem there that's in Hindi with an English translation, with the Indian original, with the English original. And I have a poem there in Bengali with the English original as well. And so I've got a few places in India then that I've been getting published, and I keep going for that because I want to reach the Indian people, like kind of coming back from a Westerner who embraced Eastern spirituality and Kashmir Shaivism in particular, Advaita Vedanta. Coming back and sharing that, I guess, from my heart and from my perspective as
That's
a
great to
Canadian
know.
American.
That's really, and really great to know. And that was quite an achievement, I would say. And who is this Mādhavā?
Oh, my spiritual name. So my Guru Mai Chivilasananda, gave me a spiritual name while I lived at her ashram, and it's Mādhavā, of course, the sweet one, and I cherish it. It's wonderful to have a spiritual name, to remind me of my spiritual nature, my interconnection with God and Guru, and so that's when I put Madhava there. It's when I'm reaching out to an Indian audience, and I know that they will know that name or know what it means, etc. So that's why I put it there.
So beautiful. It speaks a lot about you, having this oriental inclination of, studying Vedanta, Upanishads, and, spiritual bent of mind is something to be appreciated. So that is something, while we were watching your video and, recitation, we found that, kind of subliminal, a kind of meditative trance. And the way uttering your words, and they transporting us to that, kind of to the world of, a spirituality, or we are just into this space where we could just feel like you are in meditation. So that is
Wonderful.
something what we experienced. That is what I would definitely say that, and moreover, your expression of the poems and the poems that they speak of more of philosophy and and transcendental journey of yours. That is what I realized. That is what. If you wanted to say something about it, you could just go ahead.
Well, it's funny how in my experience with the ghost of Mahadev, this individual in a wheelchair who I served as an assistant for when I lived at Guru Mai's ashram, my experience, with this ghost visitation, and hearing kind of the poetic meaning of this tale that he told me, like the sapphire mine of song, and then the rubies, the words of red words of need, and then the diamond mine, of letting the spiritual speak through you. So that kind of encapsulates in that poem. He says words can fly off the page and raise the reader to a higher level of consciousness. So if I get to a real, then it can be genuinely and honestly felt, I think, by the reader, and take them into that state of meditation, I hope. And of course, I'm still a sadhaka. I'm still a seeker of the truth and practicing every day and chanting and meditating and all of that. Trying to a lot of tapasya, because I have to burn off so much sadness and pettiness and all the dumb stuff in my mind that stands in the way of that great experience of the divine. So anyway, hopefully, if I do genuinely reach an inner place like that, then the poetry can be spiritually uplifting. So
Absolutely. The
that's my
point.
goal.
Yeah. As you said, it's sadhaka. Yeah, sadhaka. You rightly said. It's a kind of constant persuasion of soul. Seeking oneself to reach to the higher level. So that is something we all need to be, and we need to work out, and we need to identify the path we are going to, and we need to strive to achieve the higher consciousness. That is what
Yes.
that's what you're doing. That is something through your writings, through your poetry, spoken word, and every Monday and every Tuesday that the work that has been going on through the Zoom platform, and you're bringing all the poets. So that was something beautiful, and not only in the sense of involving yourself in the deep what you call a spiritual journey, but also it's like material, like you are materializing these things up. So more people are recognizing the quality of yours, and that was something so beauty about you.
Thank you so much.
And really,
Yeah.
yeah, please.
Oh, just to the way you talked about striving for that higher state of consciousness, the most important words to me perhaps are the Shiva Sutras. Of course, well, I don't need to explain to this audience what they are, but one of them is a seeker is one who makes an effort. And having such a lazy side of me, I might rather sleep or look at listen to music or something than like alternative music, modern indie music. I might rather do that sometimes than chant and meditate, or I might rather do nothing and just go checking messages on one social media platform to another. That laziness and being a seeker is one who makes an effort. That's the hard part, it's the striving and to keep it continuous, like Anandamai Ma says that we must have no break in our effort toward the divine. And she says a lot of things about man's only duty on earth is to seek God and seek realization. So I read all kinds of quotes every day from Buddha and Lao Tzu and Anandamai Ma and Sadhguru and Sri Sri Ravi Shankar, as well as my own guru and her guru and Baba Muktananda and his guru, Bhagavan Nityananda. So yeah, the striving is an effort I try to keep making.
Yeah, like you said, it's a constant endeavor. You could just it's a every hour, every minute. We could just keep the action going on, and to reach whatever spiritual part, to have this higher what do you call enlightenment. That is what I would ask. But yes, David, it was nice and insightful talk I could get from you, and I really appreciate of your coming on this platform, and
Thank you.
sharing your views, and there's so much what do you call there is so much to explore. But yes, we could take us some other time, and we could we could try to look other side of the yours.
It's
So
beautiful.
as of now,
Yeah.
thank you, David, and
Thank you.
I would take your permission to, end this conversation.
Sure.
And thank you,
Thank
my
you
dear
so
friend.
much.
Thank you. And
Thank
yeah,
you.
we'll meet on some other time. But